So what's up, guys? So this is one of my this is my old school right here, Patriots. This has to be one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard an argument about. This is about the Chick-fil-A and gay thing that happened about a year ago. Too bad that they're literally they're like a couple years late about this, and this has been stupidly just stupid. Um, there was a whole big protest against this. I've literally been reading for like 2 hours yesterday and today, or mostly today. Um, but the opening question is, do you enjoy Chick-fil-A sandwiches that are sold in half days? Of course, but should you? Um, Basically, I'm just gonna go through this and debunk it since I've already done it, but I forgot to record my microphone. Um, yeah, that sucked, and we're gonna go right to this. Starts off by the brand blah 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 Estruan Kathy. He's dead now, so this doesn't make any sense. Has a history, or he had a history because he's dead now. It doesn't really work like that. And he opened the winshape foundation, which basically helps people with their wedding or their marriage and therapy, uh, and even a little bit of the gay stuff. I don't understand completely what they do there, but from what I could tell, it's a gay therapy type thing, if that makes sense. Which I think they're coming over gay. It just doesn't quite make sense to me. I haven't done like a lot research on this. Like I don't understand everything, but this thing literally you have to melt the fucking facts out of this thing. Like there's literally almost no facts given to this. The Family Research Council and Georgia Family Council. This is literally the hardest thing to look for. This is literally the only two facts, and then you have to go to CNN, and then they give you some other groups, because this guy's too lazy to, because he's a retard. Um, where is it? FAC. Here we got such as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Uh, and I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the tax documents that I have, and I'll show you guys in a second. What is that? Chick-fil-A? No, what cheap? Okay, so I'm at the nonprofit for Chick-fil-A Foundation Incorporated, and we'll just scroll up or okay. Um, did the organization directly or indirectly engage in any type of the following? Did the organization directly or indirectly engage in any of the following with any other organization described in Section 501c relating to political organizations? They check no. So this means that there were no on this. We'll even go to 2011, I believe they said. This is the. By the way, this isn't. This is completely Nonprofit Explorer Pro Public. So we'll go on 2011 maybe. Maybe it's in here. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're doing anything political with this. So it's 2011. So I do believe he was alive. Yeah, he was alive. He's been dead for 4 years now. Poor boy. He's still getting shit for what he did, apparently, but he really didn't do anything. Two candidates for public office. So, no, which is weird because it's saying that they supported candidates who did stuff like that, which doesn't make it. And everything else is no, except these two. But let's see what this says. Is the organization described in Section 501c3 or for other than a private organ? If yes, complete Schedule A. Okay, so then we go down. Is the organization required to complete Schedule B, Schedule see instructions? So check yes. So what is this? Okay, so we go to 501, I do believe. Okay, so the Trinity Catholic Foundation, by becoming all they were created to be. Okay, so this basically says everything right here. Okay. But I haven't seen any donations yet, and I've literally looked up and down this damn thing. And I haven't found one bit of where they donated to or who they donated to, except their own business, which was technically theirs, so it doesn't really matter. So what I did was I did a little bit more investigation work. I looked at the recent dates, and what I found is that they don't actually support anything now. So we go to 2015, which isn't even the newest one. 2016, but I can't read script that well. Well, I mean, I can, but... And then we go to campaign finances. And... Okay, so first we see, during the lax year, did the foundation attempt to influence any national, state, or local legislation, or did it participate or intervene in any political campaign? They said no. Okay, that's okay. Okay, it still talks about carrying on propaganda or otherwise attempt to influence legislation. I mean, I'll leave the link to this in the description. You can read the whole thing. But I mean, basic principle is that they really didn't do anything in 2015. And this kind of proves my point that they kind of stopped basically once the owner died. I mean, even then, all he did was support his own and others like his, because, well, basically it just says that they supported Christians in getting to school, which is, by the way, completely legal and completely fine. There's nothing that's illegal about it. So now we go to the winshape Foundation, and because, I don't know, apparently this is his company. And then we zoom in because I can't see a fucking thing. Oh my. Alright, so we scroll down. During the last year, did the foundation attempt to influence any national, state, or local legislation, or did it participate or intervene in any political campaign? And they said no to that, so no. Income in return for services, camp and educational training items, tax vendors, comp and speech. I don't know what that says. I'm stupid. Anyways, I'm gonna leave a link to this also in the description so you guys can look at this. Look at their whole tax shit. This is their contributors list. Chick-fil-A, Donald, Kathy, National Christ Foundation, others. You know, just a list of people here that contributed. Socialism, you know. Obviously far right leaning people right here. Don't believe in the Bible. I mean, they just believe in the Bible way too much here. Chick-fil-A Inc. Look at that, disgusting. $6 million. It's like almost they own the company or something. So that's both stupid. Okay, and then we go to Chick-fil-A. So their total donations in campaigns, I do believe it caps out at $10,000 as the maximum. They went a little bit over. I don't know how they did it, but they did. Basically, in the 2018 elections, they put $10,107 into the Republicans and $5,000 into Democrats, but still they put $5,000 into Democrats, which is a 1-to-2 ratio if you do the quick maths. We go to 2012 election, I guess. You can just look at this chart all day. You can just see where they were. What was this? Like 40 years ago? No. Am I stupid? 20 years ago? No, 30 years ago. 30 years ago from today. Or from this year. And just see where they have gone. Anyways, this basically shows where the funds were going from Chick-fil-A. Obviously not hard Democrat or Republican. They're kind of like mostly Republican, but some are Democrat, I guess, where they choose to spend the money. Um, okay, well, that's weird, because apparently they just believe in... What's up, guys? This is later to me, and I totally forgot about this, but the people who they donated money to don't want to take away LGBTQ, Two-Spirit, flying helicopter boys, rights. Ted Cruz, notable Republican, highly respected Senate, ran for president but got Trump by the Trump, and they donated the most to him. He was very outspoken about how he didn't want to take the gay rights away from gay. He wanted to let the government back out of marriage completely because it's a sacred ritual. Ben Shapiro says the same thing. That's how I know this. Both genius people. So I'm gonna leave you guys back to the video, and I'm just gonna chill over here for a bit. Okay. We see here condones same-sex marriage based on biblical beliefs, but says these groups such as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes don't operate with the same hard-nosed politic agenda. Okay, so basically, this right here, this program, this creates, this is a Christian program for athletes who want to go and get a scholarship. They'll help them out with their bills, wherever they're living. And I still don't understand what this argument is, because I'm still really confused. So, the main point of this is that my school does not want to have Chick-fil-A because the top of the list of it supports anti-gay behavior? Really? Okay, so then I looked on all of these, and basically they all had the same damn thing. Where is it? I just saw it. Right here. Okay, so they literally all do the same thing. They literally all they do is therapy for families. They want to make families where it's opposite genders because they believe that that's the best. I don't really care if it is or not, but at the end of the day, it's their money. They get to choose what they do. They took the risk that were needed. It doesn't matter if you care about it or not. What does matter if you make money off of it or not. And basically, this is one of the dumbest arguments I think you could have made here, right here. First of all, you made me freaking look everywhere. Okay? Ex-gay conversation. Okay, this isn't even written right. Okay, even if he is ex-gay, which, okay, they support therapy for it. They show you the light in Christianity. Explain to me how that's bad. Like, I don't... And, by the way, they're just stupid. Like, as seen in their tax fillings. By the way, you can't see these. They're not even out yet. This should be 2011. You cannot... They haven't done this... In 2016, they don't have these. I looked. Trust me, I looked. Shall provide equal and bias-free access for pupils to all school faculty, courses, programs, activity, regardless of race, creed, color, national origin, blah 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 blah. It is unclear as to why they support the question, why should the school align themselves with them? Because they make good fucking Chick-fil-A. So, just because we eat something means that we support their agenda? So because we like a food, we now all of a sudden support what they do? Well, I mean, if there's money to be made, sure you're gonna do stuff. I mean, they make a shit ton of money off of this. It's not like you're not playing around with this shit. This is a couple of grand here. This is a couple $1,000 every time there's half-day business right here. This is no joke. Like, you're talking about a couple grand of how much they overpriced this. I mean, it is ridiculous amount of money. And I don't, even then there's no anti-LGBTQ agenda. They don't really, they try to show you, they try to persuade you that the way Jesus, they make it sound like it's a disease, even though it's not, which again is whatever. I don't really care that much. But this has to be one of the dumbest arguments I think I've ever covered. I mean, seriously. Okay, so at the end of the line it says, at the end of the day, the district has a choice to make. It's the students or it's Chick-fil-A. Well, you see, this kind of means that this would mean that everybody in our school is either a libertarian or everybody in our school is anti-gay. So I mean, I mean, are you sure about that? Are you really? Do you really want to go down this road? Because then you run into a problem, and then you actually have problems. Unlike if you want Chick-fil-A or not. Like, you don't have to buy Chick-fil-A. Like, that's a choice. It's not like they're demanding you to buy Chick-fil-A. Like, what the fuck is this? You must eat Chick-fil-A. Sounds like a Bernie Sanders quote or something. You must eat Chick-fil-A every day. The Chick-fil-A keeps the hormones away. And they believe it. Also, Family Research Council, they also believe in biology. They even say that they want to block out biology. That's why they don't support the LGBTQ movement, which I completely agree 100% with. See, you can't just go around banning biology, because then you run into serious problems. AKA, you go to a doctor's and they say, "What's your gender?" They say that you're a female, even though you're a male. There are serious physical traits against those two. The strongest woman is about equal, or over strong woman is about equal to a weak ass man. Just to put that in perspective. So tell me that there's no biological differences is obviously you're tripping, and their mind is totally different too. They totally react different to two different things. I mean, men are way more violent. That's just proven by young kids. I mean, shit. When I grew up, I beat the shit out of my brother. Apparently sisters don't do that. They might fight a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, it's two different things. And think about it if you have like a little daughter that's like 9 years old, and then all of a sudden you see a man dressed up as a woman walking out, or pretending to be a woman, walking out of the restroom where your girl just went in by herself. Just think about that sick feeling that you just have. And the thing is that they always want to... Here, I'll get up the paper. I'll leave this link in the description, by the way, to this. This basically, this shows the proof that I have. This whole article right here just explains everything perfectly. I mean, way better than what I can, right here, by just these quotes. I mean, if you just read these quotes, I mean, it basically explains everything. I haven't even read this whole thing. It's way too long for me. My attention span's like 3 seconds, and then I'm like, squirrel, and then, look away. Okay. So one of the primary goals of homosexual rights movement is to abolish all ages of consent laws, and eventually recognize pedophilia as profit, or profits of a new sexual order. I mean, hear me out, but that actually sounds really good right now. Would you want your daughter? That's what? Let's say 13 years old going out with somebody that's 22? 25? How about 40? This is one of the dumbest things ever. Why the fuck would you say no to this? I mean, I'm just making an argument here. I'm no genius. I mean, I am 16 after all. Or, I mean, 15 after all. But I mean, if I can figure this out, there's no way that you guys can't. If you disagree with this, I mean, I do believe that there is a part somewhere in here that explains the problems of having two different types of definitions of your gender, even though gender and sex are the same thing, so it doesn't really make sense. But, Apache doesn't count as, helicopter, Apache, they don't really count as a gender. I'm sorry. Alright, so enough of that shit. I'm done. Alright, so this is one of the dumbest arguments. Because they have waited almost, I think this was like this was definitely more than 1 year ago. This is probably like 2 years ago this originally came up, and this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Ben Shapiro did a thing on it. Ryder Ricardo did a thing on it. Go watch those two if you want to actually make sense of everything I just said, because there's no way you made sense of everything I just said, because it's me talking. I'm stupid. And this is definitely, I mean, they just uploaded this a day ago, and they just figured this out now. It's like they just watched like a Young Turk video on Chick-fil-A or something. It's one of the dumbest things ever. Just because they make a good product and they choose to spend it on something doesn't mean that they don't have the right to spend it on something. I mean, you can protest it, don't get me wrong, but don't get mad when everybody goes back to it because you call everybody a Nazi that likes Chick-fil-A because they make a damn good Chick-fil-A sandwich. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. This is so stupid. It's like saying because you like the food and it makes you money, aka FRHSD does, it makes money. It makes money off the Chick-fil-A, that they should stop doing it because they don't support democratic views, which could hurt everybody. It's their fault. So yeah. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed, by the way. See you guys.